have banded together to mount a rogue offensive aimed at defeating the sitting president of their own party. They call themselves the Lincoln Project, named for the party of Lincoln.
The former president, renowned for his unwavering, tough guy persona, was surprisingly seen shedding a solitary tear, a rare and unexpected display of raw emotion from the typically guarded and stoic individual. This uncharacteristic reaction was said to have been triggered by the recent release of a cutting-edge parody advertisement created by the Lincoln Project, a renowned group known for its sharp-witted and biting political satire. Even the man, with the iconic golden hairstyle and unapologetically brash public demeanor, couldn't seem to suppress the overwhelming wave of emotions that the scathing ad had managed to evoke within him. The sight of the former leader, a figure often associated with an impenetrable veneer of strength and invulnerability, momentarily succumbing to a moment of vulnerability and fragility, has undoubtedly captured the rapt attention and curiosity of the public at large. The general populace is now left to ponder the specific content and messaging of the Lincoln Project's latest parody, which has clearly struck a deep and personal chord within the famously thick-skinned and adversarial former commander-in-chief. This unexpected display of emotion has only served to further fuel the public's fascination and speculation, as they collectively wonder what aspects of the satirical ad were able to penetrate the armor of the former president's carefully curated public persona, exposing a fleeting glimpse of the complex and multifaceted individual beneath the surface-level bravado.
God said, I need a corrupt man who is above the law and immune from justice. So God made a dictator. God said, I need a man who will use violence to seize power. So God made a dictator. God said, I need a man whose followers will call black white, call evil good, and call criminals hostages. So God made a dictator.
God gazed down and decided they needed someone who had mastered the art of failing in every area except deception and empty promises. This individual would reside in a palace of gold and convince the struggling masses that they were their savior. Thus, Trump was born. The Lincoln Project stands as a beacon of democracy in the United States, committed to safeguarding the fundamental rights and liberties. The battle against the grip of Trumpism has only just begun. During Labor Day week, the masterminds behind the Lincoln Project, a super PAC formed by Republican operatives who have turned their backs on their own party to take down President Donald Trump, established a war room in a location far removed from Washington, D.C. This group, led by consultants Steve Schmidt and Rick Wilson, had been directing their relentless campaign against Trump, deploying the same hard-hitting ads they had wielded against Democratic opponents throughout their careers. One such ad, dubbed Regret, starred comedian David Cross, enumerating a laundry list of Trump's shortcomings, from blatant racism and crass sexism to deranged narcissism and pandering to Nazis. In a jaw-dropping moment in Regret, the ad that has been setting screens ablaze, there is a scene so shocking it will make your jaw drop. In the midst of tumultuous times, a voice echoes with deep remorse, lamenting the decision to cast a vote for Trump. It's a moment so chilling, so profoundly unsettling that it's as if the very sky has opened up to denounce the errors of the past. Prepare to be captivated by this cinematic masterpiece of regret, where the weight of choice becomes a haunting realization.
And can't deliver. Sad, weak, low energy, just like your presidency, just like you.
This message is carefully crafted to target Republican voters, aiming to convince them that the dangerous and divisive behavior exhibited by former President Trump poses a grave threat to the integrity and stability of the country. The strategic messaging is designed to resonate with conservatives, highlighting how Trump's actions have undermined core American values and institutions. Meanwhile, there's another type of advertisement that has been strategically crafted to rattle a single individual, the former president himself. Take, for instance, the ad titled Shrinking, which directly addresses Trump in a pointed and confrontational manner. The ad hones in on Trump's infamous Tulsa rally in June 2020, using it as a lens through which to examine the broader consequences of his reckless and divisive leadership. This ad strikes at the very heart of the matter, daring to confront Trump head-on about the detrimental impact of his words and actions. You've likely heard this refrain before, but the ad's message resonates like thunder as it directly challenges the former president. Descriptors like sad, low energy, weak not only reflect on Trump's personal demeanor, but also cast a long, ominous shadow over his entire presidency. It's a powerful reckoning, a mirror held up to the highest office in the land, revealing the deep cracks and fissures in its very foundation. Perhaps it is this unwavering, uncompromising portrayal that strikes such a raw nerve, prompting tears and an emotional reaction from the man behind the title of the presidency. After all, confronting the unvarnished truth, even through the lens of a political advertisement, can be an exceedingly bitter pill for some to swallow. The ad represents a bold and unapologetic challenge to Trump's legacy, refusing to shy away from the harsh realities of his tumultuous tenure. In doing so, it aims to shatter the illusions and false narratives that have for so long shielded him from accountability. This confrontation, carried out through the medium of a strategic advertisement, may very well serve as a catalyst for a long overdue reckoning within the Republican Party and the broader American political landscape.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay?
No, Donald, you're wrong. They are heroes because they were captured.
Even fervent supporters have joined the chorus of criticism against Trump. One vocal critic remarked that for the past 4 years, the president has done nothing but insult nearly everyone. And now it's his turn. The founders of the Lincoln Project understood they were striking a nerve when the president launched his predictable social media tirades, lashing out at them and labeling their organization as the Losers Project. Considering themselves Trump analysts, the Lincoln Project's founders meticulously anticipate the president's missteps, stockpiling a wealth of material to be unleashed at the right moment. A recent advertisement skillfully juxtaposed images of honorable military service with Trump's disparaging remarks towards members of the armed forces, coinciding with the Atlantic's revelation of Trump's alleged comments during a 2018 visit to France, where he reportedly declined to visit an American cemetery and referred to fallen soldiers as suckers. The Lincoln Project swiftly responded, urging their followers on Twitter to showcase what real heroes look like using the hashtag #VeteransVoice. Let's spotlight the true essence of heroism, not the facade of power. Within a short span, a hashtag campaign by veterans surged to dominate the political discourse on Twitter, showcasing the real champions. The Lincoln Project then unleashed an ad targeting Senator Lindsey Graham titled Parasite, featuring unsettling footage and a scathing narration mocking his unwavering loyalty to Trump. Parasites, after all, don't discriminate between good and evil hosts. During a morning meeting, the outspoken strategist Rick Wilson, known for his bold ad campaigns, was questioned about the tactics. His response was unapologetic, for he was not running for office. Veteran political operative Steve Schmidt, a vocal critic of Trump, reminded the group of the former president's history of insulting even Gold Star families and the disabled. Yet, the project remained steadfast in their support for the Democratic candidate Joe Biden, airing positive ads to convey their message. Highlighting his ethical conduct and moral uprightness, it's time to embrace a renewed commitment to honorable principles. With a focus on doing what is right and just, the call is for a resurgence of principled values that guide our actions and shape a society of integrity.
Time for decency. It's time for Joe Biden.
The Lincoln Project's seasoned advisors meticulously planned their advertising strategy, focusing on crucial swing states like Florida, Arizona, and Pennsylvania. They recognized the importance of efficient resource allocation, cautioning against a broad approach that could prove counterproductive. Referencing the revelations from Bob Woodward's latest book, the founders swiftly decided to address Trump's awareness of the COVID-19 pandemic through a concise social media video aiming to amplify the impact. Within moments, the project's strategic hashtag campaign gained significant traction, capturing the attention of the public. Meanwhile, the team of filmmakers and producers arrived to document the project's endeavors, as Stevens, a prominent liberal activist, had previously contemplated creating his own anti-Trump advertisements, but found that every idea had already been executed by the Lincoln Project. The Lincoln Project, a group of dedicated individuals, have been tirelessly working to challenge the status quo. Reflecting on their relentless output, one of the founders, Mike Madrid, shared his perspective. Madrid, a former Republican with hopes of empowering his community, found himself disillusioned as colleagues and friends justified supporting Trump despite his disparagement of immigrants. When a prominent party member, Schmidt, publicly parted ways with the GOP in 2018, he took to social media to condemn the administration's policy of separating migrant families, drawing parallels to the darkest chapters of our history, including slavery. Similarly, Galen, another member of the group, grew increasingly concerned as they witnessed the president deploying unmarked officers against the Black Lives Matter protests, further fueling their resolve to stand up for democracy. The Republican Party's long-standing ideals have been profoundly challenged as the federal government's authority has been exercised unchecked at the state level. Ron Steslow, the sole millennial founder of the project and a political strategist, has underscored the sobering realization faced by his generation, my generation, that democracy cannot be assumed as a given. The Lincoln Project's achievements are indeed impressive, as they demonstrate the need to vigilantly protect the democratic foundations of our nation.
We'll be right back.